Hey, good afternoon. I'm Keith Hittner Sr. together with Keith Hittner Jr. and the money man, Kelvin Kaemingk, broadcasting from the Rack Shack Barbecue Studios. Barbecue is a favorite fall party food because it's so darn affordable. And talk about your comfort food, smoked tender meats and great sides. Easy to go, easy. Go to barbecuecateringmn.com, barbecuecateringmn.com. Or give Elliot a call at 612-326-0430, and he'll be happy to help you. Remember, Rack Shack Barbecue is America's food, and it is the right thing to do. And this is Real Estate Chalk Talk, of course. RealEstateChalkTalk.com is the show website with search tools and vendor contact information to help you fix up that house and get it ready for sale. Or you can call us directly at 612-627-8000. That's the number to call if you need help. Remember, we can't help you if you don't call, so call today. Keith Reno, who do we got on the show this week?
Today we're going to have a couple of great guests, some of our fan favorites. One, Express Window Fashion. Scott Needham is in studio with us this morning, and we'll give you his phone number real quick. That's 651-452-4953 from Express Window Fashions. And our gal Brooke from Allstate. We're going to talk a little bit about some insurance, and I'll throw your number at you as well, 952-905-2735. That's Brooke from Allstate Insurance. And I think we'll spend a little time today also talking about beating the crowds for the spring market as we get in. We're over the hump now. We're in October. It's fall. We will see some homes coming on the market right now during the fall time, but it'll be winter before you know it. So we'll spend some time chatting about beating the crowds in advance of the spring market, which will be here before we know it, hopefully, right, as we're just tipping over into the cold weather. Calvin, what about you?
We're going to be talking about the jobs report that came out on Friday. We're going to talk about first-time home buyer jitters, holding deals together, and then lastly, fall listing appointments in the conversation that's different in the fall than it is the spring, so tie nicely with what you're doing.
Great. We'll cram a lot in this 1 hour show here today.
Ready for your first questions?
I am ready.
All right. Talk a little bit about fall listing appointments.
Fall listing appointments.
Is that a question?
That is a question. Fall listing appointments. What do you do different in the fall
than
in the spring?
Different?
In the spring, there's just more urgency because you're in the market. The phone's ringing off the hook. You've got buyers that are calling and they want to get going. And it just seems to be like everything is moving a little quicker. We're more time sensitive in the spring because you've got people that they need to get some work done. We want to get it on the market. We don't want to waste the spring market. So there just seems like there's all of that moving forward. In the fall, it's a little different because in the fall we've got a short window, in my opinion, a short window to get a property on the market. Mm-hmm. And there's this conversation of, well, should we try to get it sold this fall or should we do it in the spring? If we do sell it in the fall, is there going to be something available for you to buy? What is your plan? A lot of empty nesters in the fall they want to get it gone because they're going to Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a busier buying season than in those southern states. So I have friends that are in California, in Florida, and in Texas that sell real estate, and their season picks up in those retirement communities and vacation communities during our essentially slow time during the year. So they don't care what's going on here from a buyer's market standpoint. They end up just moving out of the area, so it doesn't much matter to them. There are a few other things, too. Do you have another question?
Yeah, lay on top of that the election. Does the election have any impact on that or not really?
I think that the election has an impact on certain market segments as business owners and whatnot are questioning what the economy is going to be like based on who wins it, how it's going to impact their business. That might have a causality effect on whether or not they purchase, especially a second home, like a vacation home or something like that. I find that for our business anyhow, most of the properties that we're selling and most of the customers that we're dealing with are people who are buying because of a familiar need. I mean, they got a family situation that they're buying for. So the election, as long as they're secure in their job position, then they're just gonna, I got my wife's pregnant. We gotta get a bigger house.
Yeah, So a little bit, but not much.
A little bit, but not much.
Well, I got a couple things though. We're talking about right now the difference between the listing conversations with folks listing their house in the fall and the conversations we have right now as opposed to the springtime. And you can always call us to talk about that at 612-627-8000, and of course visit realestatechalktalk.com. But one of the things that we do at this time of year is I don't want to say we're more calculated in the pricing of the house, or what the ultimate sales price will be, because we look at the market data and deliver that information and come up with what we believe the house will ultimately sell for, but the listing strategy is different in terms of pricing. For me, at least, in my conversations with my sellers, is you need to be more poignant in what you put the house on the market for, as opposed to in the spring where we're going to have, and we know we're going to have, in this market we're in at least, a good flurry of buyer activity during that time. That's when most of the transactions take place. There are buyers that are coming from apartments, their leases are coming up, and now they're going out and shopping for homes, so we have more buyer activity in the spring. And with that being said, we have the opportunity to fudge on the price a little bit. And, if we say, here's your range, and it's a $10,000 range, we're going to be definitely at the top of that $10,000 range in the spring, as opposed to coming into the fall and winter market where you're more than likely going to be at a more realistic end sales price number and coming on the market when you're going into the slowest time of year. So there is a little bit difference in a calculated marketing strategy for a market price on what you're putting the house on the market
just
for.
To pick up on that a little bit, Keith, too, is in the fall, just traditionally, if you look at our selling cycle throughout the year, the prices do tend to soften a bit in the fall, as you were saying.
Certainly, yeah.
And so you need to be a little sharper. There's a little less room for error in that. In the spring of the year, prices are always, or traditionally, are up in the spring.
Yeah, you're receiving your appreciation from the previous year. We calculate that in.
And then more coming, and we don't know at that point how much more is coming. So you tend to push it a little bit until you kind of get your feet on the ground for that next year.
Yeah, there's a breaking point.
So there's you push it as far as you can and just kind of measure it. And once you're into the season, a few weeks in, you can almost just feel it, how it's going to be. If it's going to be very robust by showing activities and how fast things are moving off inventory levels and those types of things.
Yeah.
Speaking of inventory levels, do you have any feel for what inventory levels are now compared to like last year at this time? Or?
Yeah, our inventory overall, we'll talk more about specific real estate inventory levels. I think when we're in our money segment, we'll hit on that. But I wanted to stay on this, the listing activity now and the difference between here and the spring. Another thing we do at this time of year.
Deflected that question.
Just like I'm debating. I don't have the answer quite yet. I need to get it in my ear from whoever is helping me answer these questions. Right? This is like a debate here.
Insult somebody.
Yeah, you're ugly, Kelvin.
You're ugly.
I don't like that shirt.
Yeah.
You're overweight.
Here's what we're doing this time of year in the fall is we find ourselves working ahead a little bit more right now. In the spring, we're working for the immediate. In the fall, we're working for the immediate and the future. And what I mean by that is right now, the houses look nice. The lawns are very green. We've had a lot of rain. Well, if you put your house on the market in February, March, or April, what are we taking a picture of on the outside of the house, right? So we need to prepare right now. If you're thinking about putting your house on the market in the spring, now is a perfect time to give us a call at 612-627-8000, and we can schedule a photo shoot in advance of the property coming on the market in the spring. We'll have nice spring photographs, professional photographs of the exterior of your home. And so we're thinking ahead at this time of year, too. So not just listing a house next week, or next month, but also listing property in the springtime and making sure we have those nice, crisp, green, beautiful photographs. And when is a better time of year to take a nice picture of the outside when the trees are turning a little bit and you got
Before
that nice color, you got the low-lying sun. It's just great environment to take exterior photos of property. So it's a good time to do that. Give us a call again at 612-627-8000 if you want to schedule your spring photo shoot. Schedule it now for listing your home in the spring, or visit realestatechalktalk.com. As always, that's realestatechalktalk.com. Calvin, if you just want to hold on for me. Again, we're going to have Brooke from Allstate here this hour. Brooke from Allstate, our resident insurance professional. 952-905-2735 is her phone number. And coming up in the next segment is Scott Needham, 651-452-4953. He is from Express Window Fashions, and we're going to talk some energy efficiencies and some cool things with custom window shades and blinds in your home. Again, that's expresswindowfashions.com is their website. Very easy, expresswindowfashions.com. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. We are going to head out to break. We'll be right back after the messages. Please call us at 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000, and we'll be right back.